Well, hello, Facebook family and friends. We're here for day 5 of 21. That sticky little feeling called stuck. I feel stuck. What do I do? So I am just really this is the 5th day, and I am so honored to be here with you guys. I am so glad that this is helping you. I'm getting feedback at how wonderful these little snippets of information are, with the little tools and the little solutions that I can offer up to kind of help you kind of move through this, on this adulting roller coaster that we face. Michelle, thank you for popping in. Ken, oh, it's so good to see you both. Thank you so much for stopping by. Okay, so today, we've been talking about like some of these emotions like confusion and feeling lost and things like that. And, a lot of these are really similar, right? Becca Boo, hello, love. Thank you for popping in. And a lot of these feelings, these emotions are really similar. And so sometimes it can be hard to discern the difference between, am I feeling stuck? Am I feeling lost? Am I feeling confused? And we use these different terms and labels for these emotions to kind of describe what it is that we're feeling. And really the truth is that they are very similar in a lot of ways. But stuck is a little bit different, because like with loss yesterday, or lost, when you're feeling lost was really about the expectations, right? And confusion can be that I have all this stuff coming at me and there's this jumbled mess of thoughts and I'm not really sure how to see the path through. And lost is a little more extreme version of that. Well, remember when I talked about overwhelm? I think it was day 3, I think. In overwhelm, we can feel like there's a difficulty with choices, right? Stuck is taking a little bit of that overwhelm, a little bit of the confusion, a little bit of the lost, and mushing it all together to where you feel kind of like stuck. I don't know which way to go. I don't know what to do. I'm not really seeing the answer. I'm not really sure how to kind of maneuver through. So Kaz, thank you for popping in. Love, so good to see you. Welcome. So in this stuckness, what is really happening is that we don't feel like we have choice. Now, it's an extreme version of no choice. I don't really have the answer. I'm not really sure how to see my way through. And I'm feeling lost in it. And now I'm calling it stuckness. I don't know which way to go. And I don't know how to make this be better, how to feel unstuck. But the component that is added to this to a great degree is really fear. I fear something, right? Like, what if I make this choice? I have this choice, I see it. What if I make this choice and I lose all this other stuff? So we get afraid of that. And so then we just kind of stay stuck where we're at. And we don't quite give up, right? And we don't necessarily feel confused. We may kind of have the answer to some degree, but we're afraid of something else. We're afraid to make that choice because we're either afraid we're going to lose something or we're afraid of that uncertainty of the outcome. So let's see. Oh yeah, good to see you too, Kaz. Listen later, that's what replay for. Isn't technology phenomenal? Yay, technology. All right, so we have this fear, we're feeling this stuckness, and we also don't feel like we have any options, right? Well, I have to pay my bills. I can't leave the job that I hate. It's not in alignment with who I am. It doesn't make me happy anymore. I go to it every day. And it's okay, but I have a family to feed. So I don't have a choice. Or this is the car I have right now, and I'm feeling stuck as to what to do because it's really old and it keeps breaking down, and I really can't keep affording to fix it, but I don't have the money to replace it, so I'm just kind of stuck with it. Or I'm in this relationship and I really love him or her. And it's really an awesome relationship in a lot of ways, but something's missing. And I just kind of feel stuck in it. And I don't really know what to do because I don't want to be alone or my children or my financial situation or my home situation. And so then I kind of feel stuck. And so, hi, Michelle. Thank you for coming and stopping by. So good to see you. And so here's the ugly little truth about stuck. You're not really stuck. It's just what our mind tells us is happening, that we are absolutely stuck. And so we use that language and then we kind of stop right there. I'm stuck. What do I do? And then we kind of go into maybe some of the lost or some of the confusion or some of the overwhelm or many other feelings that we can feel because we kind of are predominantly at this stuck wall. So there was an interesting situation when I worked at the prison where I worked with adult male incarcerated individuals, and they would often say, well, I'm stuck in here for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 1 year, whatever. And I'm like, you're not stuck. They're like, I'm totally stuck. No, you're not stuck. They're like, Miss Sue, what are you talking about? I am locked in this prison cell and behind these prison walls. I am stuck here for the next whatever time. And I would look at them and are you literally stuck? Are you really stuck? Like, are you stuck to the wall to where you can't, move? No. Does your legs move you? Yes. So what's stopping you from leaving the prison? Well, I don't want to get shot. Oh, okay. Because what will happen if you try to escape, leave through those prison gates? Well, they'll shoot me because they say that I'm supposed to be here for another period of time, and they will shoot me and say I was escaping. But are you really stuck? Well, no, I guess not. I guess I can go toward the gate and I can attempt to go past the gate if I want to, but the consequence is really what you're more afraid of, right? Yeah, because I don't want to get shot. So it's not that you're stuck. It's that this outcome, I'm going to get shot if I try to move past those gates, is what's holding me back and keeping me in this place. And I remember that I went to see my own therapist at one point. Hello, Dawn. Hello, Vicky. Hello, Gina. Welcome, welcome. Good to see you guys. Thank you so much for popping in. So I went to see my own therapist because I'm a firm believer that, look, whether you have an idea about what therapy is or you've had good or bad experiences with it, the truth is, guys, we are 7.5 billion people on this planet, and we are not alone. And to me, a good therapist, counselor, sounding board is someone who helps to guide you, right? And it's not the whole, so tell me, how do you feel about that? And how do you feel about that? Like, yucky, right? And so I believe that it is always a good idea to talk to other people. And sometimes they'll play the role of therapist and you might have to pay them and, you might go through insurance or whatever. There's no stigma. There's nothing wrong with it. We all need a sounding board. Okay, so especially like with stuck. So with these guys, it kind of triggered something in me because I thought, well, I kind of feel stuck in my career at this moment. And I remember going to my therapist, because as long as I've been a therapist, I had a therapist, and God rest your soul, Dr. C. He passed away about 1.5 years ago. Amazing man, amazing mentor, amazing friend, amazing therapist. Anyway, and I said to him, I'm feeling stuck. And he kind of did the same thing to me. He was like, are you physically stuck? Are you incapable of moving? No, I can move. Then what's the problem? Oh, the problem is I'm holding myself back up here because I'm afraid of some outcome, or I don't have a clarity about the outcome, or I'm worried about an outcome, or I feel like I'm going to lose something. And so because I would then go into this stuck place and be like, I can't make this choice. But sometimes when you just talk about it a little bit for a few minutes, you gain clarity. I actually had a friend reach out yesterday, as a matter of fact, about this very issue, about feeling stuck. And we talked for just a little while, and all of a sudden there was some clarity there. They already had the answer. They already knew what was inside. All they needed was somebody to kind of shine a light on that path that's in front of them and feel a little less afraid to make that choice or make that decision or come to that answer. So one of the things that you can do when you're feeling stuck is, again, I'm kind of a big believer in writing things down or voice recording them if you want to, if you're not a writer. And that is to ask yourself this question of, what am I afraid of? Okay. A lot of these questions might come to fear. And we're going to have a whole episode one of the days on fear itself, because it's such a big, huge thing for so many people. And it really drives most of our behaviors in one form or fashion. So let's say you're feeling stuck, like I had felt stuck in my life at that point. Ask, what am I afraid of if I make this choice to become unstuck, right? So the example of, like, I don't like my job, and maybe I don't like the commute, or maybe I don't like the people I work with, or maybe my boss is really harsh on me, or I get in trouble for things that I had nothing to do with. Like, who knows what the reason is, right? Maybe you're not making enough money. It doesn't feel in alignment with who you are and what you want to be doing. And so then you're feeling stuck because you're like, oh my gosh, it took me 3 months to get this job. I've worked here for 6 months now. I'm making some decent, okay money, and I'm paying my bills. And my gosh, I can't go through that 3 months of looking for another job again. What happens if I leave here? So I'm just going to stay. And I feel stuck in it because I feel like if I don't, if I take the chance on myself and I go out and I look for something else and I don't find anything, then I got to stay here, right? Because I got to keep making money. But what if I were to ask myself, what am I afraid of if I make the choice to be unstuck? I make the choice to go get another job. Or I find that I'm so miserable every day and I'm struggling to get up every morning to go to this job, or I'm struggling in this relationship and every day I'm feeling miserable. What am I really afraid of if I made that choice to leave, or to find a new job, or to move to a new place, or to take some kind of chance or risk that I'm feeling a little stuck in, like I don't have that opportunity before me? What am I afraid of in making this choice to get unstuck? Okay? But you can write that down and ask yourself what I'm afraid of. The challenge with that is I may be able to clearly see what I'm afraid of. Like I said before, I need the money, I have to stay here, or I want to stay in this relationship because I have these children and I don't know what to do if I was on my own. But then you need to ask, and this is another piece to kind of the solution, is what is the worst that will happen if I make the choice to get unstuck, or if I choose to stay and continue to feel stuck? So like, I stay in the job. Hey, Yaz, welcome. Thank you, love. Thank you so much for stopping in. Michelle, thank you for stopping by. Good to see you, hon. There's always replay. So what's the worst that'll happen? So let's say I am in that job I don't like. I ask what I'm afraid of. I get to the answer of, I'm afraid that I won't have enough money to pay my bills, or I'm afraid that it will take me too long to find another job. What's the worst that will happen if it takes me too long to find another job? What's the worst that will happen if I don't have the money to pay my bills? What's the worst that will happen on the flip side if I stay? What's the worst that will happen if I continue to feel this miserable every day in this relationship or this job or this situation? Does that make sense? Right? Give me a thumbs up if it makes sense. Then you ask, this is the beauty of this, what's the best that will happen? What's the best that will happen if I make that choice to get unstuck? I will maybe find a freedom for myself and not feel so miserable or unhappy. Maybe I will find a job where I make more money. Maybe I will be able to move to that place I've wanted to move. Maybe my children, like, plug in your own fill in the blank. But it's what is really the best that will happen if I make this choice. Okay, on the flip side then, let's look at the stuckness. What's the best that will happen if I stay stuck? Now, usually there isn't going to be a lot of bests. But sometimes when you do this and you ask the worst and the best on both feeling stuck or making the choice to get unstuck, what happens is you might see an answer much more clearly as to why you're still choosing to kind of stay in that stuckness, like why you're choosing to not look for that new job or to not find a way to get out of the relationship or whatever, again, it may be for you. Kristen, hello, love. Welcome. Thank you for popping in. So good to see you. Oh, it's so exciting. The other thing is, then write down all the reasons that you are stuck, that you're feeling stuck, right? And that may actually be the first thing that you need to really do, is when you're feeling stuck and you notice that in your mind it keeps going over and over, kind of this stuckness, or you find yourself speaking language like, I wish I could get out of there, I just don't know how, or I really want to do this thing, but I don't know what to do with it. Or if you can clearly see how stuck you're actually feeling and you're calling it stuckness, is to write down all those reasons you are feeling stuck, okay? And see if they're really true. Like, really look at them. Because I didn't do anything phenomenal with that gentleman at the prison. I didn't do anything that special. What I invited him to do was to look at his situation from a different perspective. And that's really what all this 21 days is about, is different perspective on all these different emotional pieces that kind of catch us on this emotional roller coaster of adultingness, right? And so all I did with him is I invited him to look at a different perspective. Are you really stuck? Is it true? Yeah, I'm stuck here. Are you really stuck? Are you attached to the wall, unable to move, incapable of movement forward? No. So we took it piece by piece. Okay. Are you capable of moving around the prison freely? Yes. Are you capable of moving past the prison gates without consequence? No. So that was true, right? He could not move past the prison gates without consequence. So that was the piece right there then where he could see and begin to understand where his stuckness was really coming from. But that it really wasn't about, I'm stuck in this prison. It's, I have to follow the rules of law of our society that says, I committed this crime, I'm supposed to be here for 2-3 years, whatever. And when that time is done, they will release me through the gates freely and I'm no longer stuck. But if I'm feeling stuck here while I'm here, how can I get unstuck while I'm here? How can I deal with this and make choices that keep moving me forward while I'm behind these walls? Well, really, that's the truth for all of our lives, guys. Hello, Stacy. Thank you so much for popping in. So good to see you. Welcome. And Kristen, oh my, hello, love. So good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, so first thing, let's change it. Yeah, first thing, write down all the reasons that you feel stuck and look to see if they're really true. Then, once you have those reasons that you're feeling stuck, then you ask what you're afraid of in the stuckness and what you're afraid of if you were to make the choice to become unstuck. That's a big piece, to look at what that underlying fear is that's driving that feeling. Then you look at the best and the worst case scenario on both sides. Best and worst case scenario if I stay stuck. Best and worst case scenario if I become unstuck. Does all this make sense? I hope, everybody. I really hope it does, because this is a big one for a lot of people. A lot of people can feel really stuck and confused and lost in some of these choices, and they're not really sure how to maneuver through. And if we just take these little pieces and we come at them from these different perspectives, wow, all of a sudden we can begin to understand how we truly can become an emotional master, and then choose to ride that roller coaster of adulting in a way that makes it fun and in a way that makes it less miserable and less scary and less challenging. right? So I really genuinely hope today has helped you guys. Please, again, if you know anybody that you think might benefit from these, from my heart to yours and theirs, the whole reason I'm doing these 21 days is because I've been a therapist for 22 plus years, and it has been so heartbreaking to watch people struggle behind their emotions and their past conditioning and get kind of stuck in their thought processes and in all of those experiences that they then think that that's who they are. And I'm all about infinite possibilities, you guys, right? You know, and seeing those infinite possibilities inside yourself, because we all have it, right? So if you know of anybody that you think would benefit, feel free to spread the love and share the video, right? If you are interested in the MP3, that will be edited and nicely, smoothly put together by the end of the 21 days. Please make sure you reach out to me through private message and drop me your email so that I can get you on the list to get that MP3 to you when it's done. Know that I love you all very much, and I wish you a very unstuck kind of day. And if there's any other way that I can be assistance, please make sure that you reach out. I'm here for you. And I will see you guys tomorrow, same time, same Bat Cave, 2 o'clock. And tomorrow's topic, I guarantee you, is going to be, it's stress, and it's a big one. So even though we're sitting at about 20, 21 minutes today already, which is still a little longer than I like for these little snippets, I guarantee you that tomorrow is going to probably go as long or maybe even to 30 minutes, just because stress is such a huge, huge topic, and it covers so many things and is so challenging. And it's a major, major influencer on our mental, emotional, psychological, physical, spiritual, financial health and well-being. Okay, so I love you all. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you tomorrow. Ciao for now.